Gabriel's voice was sharp with urgency as he demanded, "What happened?" Breathless and shaken, Davina replied, "Masked kidnappers. They took Mikey as I was running." His expression turned cold, and he grabbed her arm tightly. "Then go after them," he ordered. Without hesitation, she yanked her arm free. "I will find him," she promised, climbing into the car. "Call the police," she added, but just before the door shut, Gabriel's voice cut through. "If you had done your job, I wouldn't have to." Her jaw clenched, but she knew there was no time to argue. Inside the car, Adam glanced back, his face tense. "Where should I go?" he asked. Davina kept her eyes forward. "Keep straight until I tell you." Her fingers flew over her laptop keyboard, tracking the van's license plate. Her heart raced as she realized it was nearby. Adam smirked slightly. "That makes it easy for us." Davina's brow furrowed with suspicion. "Or maybe it's a trap," she murmured. She quickly gave Adam directions as they sped down the road. Adam, sensing her intensity, asked, "What are you doing now?" "Hacking into the closest cell towers," she replied, her focus razor sharp. "I need to find out how many people are in that building." Within moments, she found her answer. "There are 3 phones in the building they stopped at," she confirmed, her voice steady. She turned to Adam. "Wait here and park the car. I'll go in." She prepared herself, knowing she would need all her wits and strength to get Mikey back safely. The mission had only just begun. Davina approached the building with determination, her eyes quickly assessing the scene. A professional security guard stood firmly outside, blocking the entrance. She took a deep breath and called out, "Let me in. I'm warning you, I'm well trained." The guard's expression remained stoic, his stance unyielding, as if he found her threat laughable. Davina knew there was no time for negotiations. The moment he made a move to stop her, she lunged forward, striking with precision. The guard countered with practiced force, but Davina was swift, using every ounce of her training to evade his blows and retaliate with her own. They exchanged rapid strikes, the sound of fists meeting flesh echoing through the alleyway. With a final surge of strength, Davina maneuvered behind him, delivering a sharp kick that sent him sprawling to the ground. She stood over him, breathless but resolute. The guard, disoriented and beaten, groaned in defeat. Without wasting a second, Davina pushed open the door, ready for whatever lay ahead. She had come too far to fail now. Davina slipped into the building, her eyes scanning for any signs of danger. She grabbed a large metal plate from a nearby table, gripping it tightly like a makeshift shield. Her heart pounded as she moved deeper inside, every step bringing her closer to the door she had seen. Through a small window, she spotted Mikey inside, his face pale with fear but otherwise unharmed. She knew she had to act fast. Without hesitation, she pushed the door open and burst into the room. 2 men turned to face her, surprise flashing in their eyes. Wasting no time, Davina swung the heavy plate with all her strength, catching one of the kidnappers off guard. He stumbled back, dazed, but the other man charged at her. She ducked under his punch and countered with a swift kick to his side. They were stronger than she expected, but she was quicker. The room erupted into chaos as the 3 of them grappled and fought. Davina dodged blows and retaliated with calculated strikes, using the plate to block and deflect. She could feel the adrenaline surging through her veins as she fought with everything she had. Her only thought was getting Mikey out safely, no matter what it took. She was outnumbered, but Davina fought with the ferocity of someone who knew she could not afford to fail. Davina landed a final blow, and the last of the kidnappers crumpled to the ground, defeated. She breathed heavily, glancing at Mikey, who looked up at her with wide, worried eyes. "Is it over?" he asked, his voice trembling. Davina managed a small smile. "Almost," she assured him. She quickly hoisted Mikey onto her shoulder and sprinted out of the building, rushing towards the car where Adam was waiting. She placed Mikey in the back seat and began untying the ropes around him, asking a few quick questions to ensure he was okay. Seeing the fear in his eyes, Davina felt a pang in her heart. She saw herself as a child in his expression, scared and uncertain. She wrapped him in a comforting hug, whispering softly, "You're safe now." Just then, Adam's voice cut through the moment. "I feel like a jerk," he muttered. Davina's body tensed as she tightened her hold on Mikey. Suddenly, Adam pulled out a gun, pointing it directly at her. "Walk away," he commanded coldly. "Leave the kid and take the $2 million in this suitcase." Davina's eyes narrowed. "Are you with the kidnappers?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. Adam shook his head. "No, but this is the perfect opportunity to take Mikey while he's out of Gabriel's sight," he replied, a smirk on his face. Davina realized he was dead serious. She had to think fast. Just as Adam prepared to pull the trigger, she discreetly pressed a button on her laptop. Suddenly, the windshield wipers flicked on, swiping back and forth and momentarily distracting him. Seizing the moment, she hit another button, and the window separating the driver's seat from the back began to rise. Adam's arm, still pointing the gun, got caught in the closing glass. He let out a scream of pain as the pressure clamped down. With the opportunity wide open, Davina hugged Mikey tightly and bolted from the car, running as fast as she could. They didn't stop until they reached the mansion. But as she approached the entrance, she froze. The car was already there, and Adam was standing next to Gabriel, both watching her with knowing expressions. Her heart sank as the realization hit her. It had all been a test.